as though you were to bend a ladder into a circle and take off some of the rungs and then stand inside this ladder and roll around like a big coin on the stage. I remember saying to my dad, "Dad, it's starting, it's starting." And what I like to say after that is that little did I know is that something actually was starting. And when I saw this warrior up on stage move and manipulate this wheel for the 5 minutes that he was on stage, it did something to me. It gave me this great spark. It comes from an Austrian man named Otto Fick. I can't pronounce his name well, but anyway, yes, it comes from an Austrian man, and it was invented in the mid-1920s, and it was made because his grandfather was a blacksmith, and he put two cart wheels together with some sticks and rolled down a hill. So this man, Mr. Fick, built his and patented his wheel based on being able to roll down a hill. And then from there on, it started to become a competition sport. It had to stop being in use during World War II because things from Germany were frowned upon at that time. But then as we came out, it started to surface again, and it started to become a competition sport, which is now a worldwide competition sport with 3 events. There's a straight line event, a spirals event, and a vaulting event. Straight line would be where you have the wheel up on its own 2 edges, rolling like this, and with that you'll do your elements either within the wheel, always on a straight line like this, up and around the top of the wheel on the different bars, for example. As we go into a spiral event, the spiral event is when you tilt onto one rim of the wheel and you roll around like this, and you go around backwards like this. And then as you get into the vaulting event, is where you push the wheel, and then you run, and then you jump up on top of the wheel with the momentum of the wheel and do some kind of a flip off of it. Those are the events for competition German wheel. They make wheels for children that are 6 years old, that are this tall, for example, and they're really cute, and they're all the same width, no matter how big they make the wheel. So the wheel that I'll use will be 7 feet tall, and then they'll make one will be 2.5 meters tall, and then they'll make ones even bigger than that for people that are taller than me. Actually, before I had started to do German wheel, about a year and a half before, I had started to do some flying trapeze. Actually, it was because I met a guy who had a flying trapeze in his backyard, and somebody invited me to come and just practice for free. So I went over and I practiced, and that actually gave me enough experience to get accepted into the school in Montreal where I was able to train on the German wheel. It's called l'École nationale de cirque, National Circus School, and I found this school because I went and I saw a Cirque du Soleil show called Kidam. And in the back of the program, it had an ad that said, "If this is your dream, it can be possible. Join us at the National Circus School in Montreal." When I first saw Kidam, I had gone for my 20th birthday. I took my father as a gift for my 20th birthday. And then I ended up quitting my day job so that I could spend my days training for the circus. And then one event after another led to me actually being able to be in the circus. I did 3 years of training at school. That was full-time training. And then I went out into the world and did work, where I was working as a freelance German wheel artist, different galas, different corporate events and whatnot. And that was also part of my performance training, was just to get out into the world and actually do it. But the way that it had gone is that at this moment that I started to get intense about really focusing, and this was a 2-week period. This wasn't a long period of time. After I had kind of stepped away from doing German wheel, I found a 2-week moment of really deciding that this is what it was that I was going to do. And a couple of months later, in a place that I was working at, teaching the flying trapeze in Los Angeles, Cirque du Soleil was going to be coming into Los Angeles to give auditions. And it happens that they were going to be giving their audition at the same place that I was volunteering to teach. And then I went through the audition process of that. During the audition process, they had me climb to the top of a rope and sing, And I didn't even, I was the first one. I didn't even know that this is what it was, I didn't have any time to plan. It was all spontaneous. I climbed to the top of the rope, and I had, in a blink of an eye, I had this thought go through my head that, well, I could sing this. No, I don't want to sing this because it's going to look stupid. Oh, they want me to look kind of stupid. If I was a rich girl, la 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 la, I didn't even know the words. And I start singing, see, I blah blah blah, money in the, I'm at the top of a rope. If I was a wealthy girl. After I had already done my audition, she's seen me do my GermanWheel act. She's seen my videotape. And she says to me, she writes me an email back that says, everything is status quo on Quidam right now, but if anything changes, rest assured that we're going to call you right away. And that line encouraged me a lot. So I printed this, and I highlighted that line, and I set it on my desk so I would see it every day. And then what I told myself was that every day, so then I was, at that point, I was still living in Los Angeles, and I was practicing my GermanWheel on the cement basketball courts outside. And at that point, once she gave me this line that I highlighted and that I was able to see every day, I was going every day to the basketball court to do 10 shows a week. I wasn't going to train. I wasn't going to practice GermanWheel. I was doing 10 shows a week for Quidam on this basketball court. Understand, I was putting myself already in the mindset of doing 10 shows a week. I was really showing that this is what I wanted to do. Because the thing is that if that ship came in, this was my dream. If that ship came in, I didn't want to miss the boat, right? I didn't want to not be ready. And when they finally called me to come and do the show, I sat in the car and I cried in front of my dad for 20 minutes. I was like, I'm gonna go to the show. And this is 10 years later, right? This whole 10-year journey of traveling and doing the show, there's a lot of ups and downs that come with it. There's a great excitement of going to a new city, and then there's a difficult part of not having roots, and then finding this path, finding your roots on this path of something that's so up and down. Of course, we developed our own relationships. We developed our own sort of family, whether we liked each other or not necessarily. We were still the same 100 people that went from city to city. So that was something that became constant. At a certain point, the traveling a lot, traveling every week, there's a great romance to it, and there's also something difficult to it. There's something difficult about sitting on a bus for 8 hours, sitting on a plane every week even, you know, and then getting up and doing your acrobatics without being too stiff from sitting for so long. There's also been a lot of experiences that I've had. You would think that I've had an injury during the show, which put me out for a year, and I had to have surgeries on my shoulders. And there's been other kinds of injuries that I've had. And you'd think that would be, like, for example, when I had my shoulder injuries, I actually had to stop the show, and I had to say to the audience, I'm sorry, I'm not going to kind of continue. I'm going to walk off calmly so that you know that nothing is wrong with me, because they all saw me fall. And I've fallen a lot. I've fallen a lot in front of thousands of people, and there's a genuine humility that comes with this fall. But none of those falls and none of those injuries I would call my worst experiences. They've all been something that's given something. You know, there's a lot that I can pull from that would be my best experience. One that was really heightened with emotions would be the very last show. And the very last show, it was just everybody was on their top game. Nobody was fearful. Nobody was anxious. Everybody was just really there to give everything that they got. And then it came to an end, and we all hugged each other. We all cried, and it was this incredible, beautiful thing. I mean, we had all just now spent all of this time traveling from all these cities and all around the world together to it being done. And we knew it was going to be done. It wasn't a sudden thing, but that emotion was regardless of how much we knew that it was coming, that emotion was very, very real. Very incredible, a very heightened sense of things. That's a good highlight. There's a lot of other best moments, but that's one that I can really draw from that gave a lot of real and raw emotions. After my touring life and after my performing career, the natural next step is for me to teach. And I've found that I really enjoy teaching. I really enjoy being able to deconstruct something and to give it into small, accessible steps, because I know that I learned in small, accessible steps. Once upon a time ago, working for Cirque du Soleil was my unachievable dream. And then small step after small step, serendipitous event after serendipitous event, I was eventually able to fulfill that role. Now, it took me 10 years to be able to get there.
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go like this. You're gonna look up, keep your body up. You're gonna go, ah!
Okay.
Sit like that.
Okay.
Be careful of your fingers.
Sure.
Really.
A little bit, kind of like this.
Look forward.
Forward.
And 1, 2, 3. Lift your feet. Arms to the sides. Keep good posture. Catch the wheel. Stand up. Easy peasy. Ready? 2, 3. Lift your feet. Arms to the sides. Keep good posture. Stand up. Good. Again.